Hello and welcome to week 4 of NFL Gamepicks. And man, oh man, the first 4 weeks has not been generous to most of us when it comes to these picks.
No.
And aside from that, just the games themselves for most of our teams, except for Joey's. Joey's team is balling out right now. Have not been generous to us. So let's start with the best in this room. We got Joey with the Green Bay Packers. How are you feeling about them Packers?
Feeling pretty good, man. These past couple weeks have been pretty fun. Didn't expect us to come out with any wins with Malik Willis as our quarterback. Turns out we mustered out 2 of them in convincing fashion. The defense has been balling. 8 sacks last week on, I was about to say Anthony Richardson, but Will Levis. I'm not sure how many sacks we had the game before, but we weren't getting to the passer at all in the Colts game. Glad to see that the pass rush was alive and well against the Titans. 2 picks, one of them being a pick 6 for Jair Alexander and another one for Xavier McKinney, most picks in the NFL. I'm excited rolling into this week 4 matchup against the Vikings in Lambeau. It's going to be sick.
Yes, sir. First NFC divisional matchup for you guys. I think that's going to be really telling of how the season will go if Jordan Love comes back, and we'll get to that when we get there. But Chris, how about the Bears?
To be honest, it was a pretty boring game. I'm not going to lie. There wasn't a lot of offense on either side. The defense looked great again. Caleb actually threw for the most passing yards by a Bears quarterback in 8 years, which was kind of surprising because we just couldn't score. We got to figure some things out. The play calling was really bad. The offensive line is the worst in the league. We can't run the ball either. Everyone wants to put the blame on a rookie quarterback, but it's not his fault.
Yeah, that's the one frustrating thing that you're probably experiencing right now is just the things are the pieces are there, and just the offense is not coming through. The offensive line is not coming through for you guys.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins unfortunately lost in Seattle, and it just wasn't a great game. Skylar Thompson looked like a statue in the pocket, and it was so frustrating watching it from home because the broadcast was barely showing the downfield action. It was just so focused on the trenches, and I was just I want to see what's happening going downfield, so I know if people aren't open or if Skyler's literally just sitting duck back there. So I felt it was very frustrating watching the broadcast in that sense. But I'm gonna take us to the standings, and Steve still on top. Right now he's at a 31-17 record. He had an 8-8 week 3, and there was a lot of 9-7s, a lot of movement in the standings here. But we have Jeremiah, Peter, Ray all tied in second place with a record of 30-18, and then we also have third place Jillian Hector right behind them with a 29-19 record. Fourth place DJ, fifth place Edwin, same with Sean, and then finally sixth place I'm tied with Dougie Fresh. I went 6-10. Dougie, I went 6-10. Dougie went 8-8. We're both at 26-22. We got Anthony and Mr. Joey over here in 7th place.
Hey, man.
Joey
6-10 week, though. That was terrible. Holy shit. Wow.
6-10 week. Joey's at 25-23. Still above 500. Just right behind them in 8th place. We got Chris.
Yeah, I went 5-11. Rough week.
Yeah.
Tough week.
Jesus.
Hey, you're at 500 right
After
now?
starting strong, I'm at 500, 24-24.
I
don't know. I don't know
Week
what
3
to say.
sucks.
Right now I wouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, don't listen to my picks right now.
Hopefully
Look at my track record. It's not great.
Hopefully we got a bounce back week.
Yeah.
I think this game is kind of a stinker, but maybe you guys might be more interested in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kick
So
us off.
I'll do us the further ado. Chris will be limited in his speech this week. Not feeling very great. But I'll just take us.
Mr. Limited.
He's the anti-Russell Wilson
Yeah.
right now.
Just here so I don't get fined.
All right, I'll kick us off with the Thursday night football game. And we have the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants, Thursday night football. And, there's been a theme with these Thursday night football games as of late. And it's been divisional matchups, which is kind of interesting to see.
I like it.
It's better than the Color Rush theme that we had going on with these Thursday night games almost 10 years
I also
ago.
like that too.
I liked it, but I don't know.
Well, who do you like in the game?
I like Dallas Cowboys to win first and foremost.
There we go.
I think this Cowboys team, suffered a bad loss to this Baltimore Ravens team last week. But they did face a good team in the Ravens. They did make a little bit of a comeback, but let's not take the Giants too lightly or the Browns just bad because they smacked the Browns. Malik Neighbors looking like possible offensive rookie of the year, but I don't know. His former LSU teammate, Jaden Daniels, is definitely making a strong case for that as well. But, yeah, this Giants team is going to suck. They're going to lose, I think, their first NFC East battle at home. And I think this is like one of those kind of get-right games for Dallas. You got to come out and really apply yourself in this matchup, and otherwise things are going to go bad. You're not going to see Mike McCarthy on the sidelines too long if they end up 1-3. So I think the hot seat is getting warm. And, you can't lose here if you're Dallas.
I agree. Mike McCarthy should be getting on the hot seat here soon. Regardless if they win or lose, I still think that he will be. I just, as much love as I have for Big Mike, I don't think that he's suitable to coach in today's NFL. I think he's kind of behind on the times a little bit. But I'm still going to go with the Dallas Cowboys here. I think they are overall a better team than the New York Giants. Giants looked great last week. Don't know if it's going to transition over to this week.
Yeah, the Giants looked a little bit better. Neighbors looks legit. But I'm still going to rock with the Cowboys here. We'll all be on the same page. Cowboys are a better team, but it's not looking great. So if they lose this week, like you mentioned, a lot of people are going to be calling for jobs and I don't know. A lot of people in Dallas are going to be wanting Jerry to sell the team if they lose to the Giants in this game because that would be pretty terrible because the Giants are awful.
If they don't win by at least, 2 touchdowns, then I think people will still be calling for people to be fired and just everything.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Chris, can you take us through the first Sunday game?
Yeah, another team that definitely needs a big win here is the Cincinnati Bengals, who yet again start the year 0-3. I don't know why they keep shooting themselves in their foot like this. I mean, obviously they don't really do it on purpose. They start the year off against KC, so obviously not an easy schedule so far. They get an easy one here against Carolina. I'm going to take the Bengals. Carolina got a surprise win last week, but I think since he's clearly the better team, no matter what. I mean, we saw a lot of upsets last week. Hopefully I get this one right. I'm going to take the Bengals on the road.
So I took the Bengals initially in this one, but I don't know. The Andy Dalton revenge game is so compelling. Can he keep this offense humming? Yes, they lost Adam Thielen for the foreseeable future. That's a big blow, definitely, but
Xavier Legette time.
yeah, you're talking like Xavier Legette.
I need a post game interview with him though. It'll be electric.
Golly, my partner on my job gave me one got KO
I
sleep.
just needed him to give me the ball. I'll do the rest
I
of the
was
work.
trying to get on through for sure.
God.
Yeah.
For all of you guys listening on the podcast edition, the audio edition, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stick with Cincinnati. You need to get a win here if you're Cincinnati. You cannot go to 0-4, even though there is a funny tweet I saw today, and it was these kids who their last names were Owen, and it was 1 and 2
Yeah,
for the back of the
all
jerseys.
3 of them.
Someone photoshopped the 3 on it because it was a fake third child. So if they go to 0-4, I want to see that meme develop. That'll be super funny. But Carolina with Andy Dalton's no slouch. That's pretty much all else I gotta say.
Well, Chris, I got a question for you. I know this isn't a bird matchup, but
This is a cat matchup.
I know you never forget
Easily.
a pussy cat. We got the Bengals and the Panthers going up in a fight 1-on-1.
Easy.
Sorry, I just saw Austin Powers today. I had to throw it out there. Shout out to Mr. Bigglesworth. I'm going to go with the Bengals here, though. I think that they're extremely due for a W. I know Andy Dalton had a great game last week, and he's facing his former team, but, hasn't he had, 2 other former teams since the Bengals, too? So,
Yeah, he plays the Bears next.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Bengals is
I
the
agree.
team.
I know, but I feel like I don't know. It might still be kind of getting to him, but I don't know. I'm still gonna rock with the Bengals here. He might have a great performance, but if this was in Cincinnati, I feel like this matchup would be a lot more I don't know,
Intriguing,
intense.
yeah.
Intense for me.
Facts.
But I'll take us to the next game. We got the Denver Broncos who just came off their first W, traveling to New York to face off against the Jets, who just kicked the shit out of the Patriots on Thursday Night Football. They look pretty freaking good, man. Aaron Rodgers is back to looking like old Aaron Rodgers again. I know a lot of Jets fans are like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've never seen this before. I was sitting on my couch like, yep, Alan Lazard, yep, seen this. He looks exactly like he was with the Packers, everybody.
No, dude, you were literally jumping up and down when Alan Lazard scored the touchdown.
It's because I made money. I bet Alan Lazard.
Don't lie to the people. Oh, yep. Yeah.
Well,
No,
like,
dude, he was screaming.
Dink and dunk passes. Yeah, I was screaming. Bro, okay, so yeah, I had a first touchdown freaking bet.
Hey, that's big time.
It could have been Justin Jefferson in the end zone, man. I don't care. If you hit a bet, bro, you're going through the roofs. And money's money. Business is business at the end of the day.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't have done it. But don't lie to the people, bro.
I'm not lying to the people. Every other first down in play since then, I was like, yep, there we go.
Joey has seen so much of Aaron Rodgers that like he knows what to expect when he's seeing the game. So
yeah,
I don't blame
he
you.
was dissecting them like a scientist per usual. I don't know. I think we're doing pretty okay. I don't know if I miss him necessarily, but it's good to see him back. I think the NFL is better when Aaron Rodgers is an active player. I'm going to rock with the Jets here.
Sweet. I'm going to go with the Jets as well. Although Denver had a big-time win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, I don't think you keep this rolling. Their linebacker just suffered a tear in his ACL. I think it's Singleton. I want to say that's the linebacker, but like, the guy's flying around the field. Number 49 for the Denver Broncos. He's always flying around the field, so definitely like hinders their defense, and you're gonna need that against Aaron Rodgers and this Jets offense, who looks a lot better than what we thought coming into the season. We thought they kind of regressed given like what they were expected to be the previous season going into this year. So yeah, just the Jets are looking good. I think they're gonna improve to 3-1 to make the AFC East a hard division.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. We're gonna go with all the same pick again. I'm gonna rock with the Jets. They're the better team, although Bo Nix has been kind of good, honestly.
He looked good.
He hasn't been like shockingly good, but he hasn't made like a ton of mistakes, honestly, and he's better than I think a lot of people probably thought he was gonna be. If he keeps getting better, like I think he's definitely gonna be better than most people thought, honestly. And like I wouldn't say like that team's as stacked as like the Commanders and the Bears are either. So like maybe that's coaching, but yeah, that's not gonna be enough to beat the Jets. I'm gonna rock with the Jets.
Another thing about this matchup is that last offseason or last season in general, they were having beef. Sean Payton and everybody calling out like, I don't even honestly remember. I know Jets fans are kind of circling it on their calendar, but like I remember at a certain point that they were calling them out for Aaron Rodgers being there, or Hard Knocks
Hackett,
or whatnot.
wasn't it? Something about
Hackett. Yeah, he was not a good coach or whatever. Yeah. Now you're refreshing my memory, so that's another thing that a little bit more drama to put in this little 1 o'clock matchup. Troy was telling me at work, I would have completely forgot about it if you didn't remind me.
And that's a good angle to look at because like it was a storyline into that matchup last year. The game was in Denver. Now the Jets are on their home
Zach
turf.
Wilson's on that side too now, so it's kind of cool.
So it intensifies a little bit.
Yeah, but he's not going to play.
Especially
how Bo Nix played last week.
That would have been like the icing on the cake. If Zach Wilson would have been playing, then I think this storyline would have been even more intensified. But it's honestly a good one to bring up. I'm going to keep us moving, though. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. Jacksonville, 0-3.
Crapsonville.
Yeah. And then we got the Houston Texans, who suffered a surprising loss against the Vikings. But we'll get to the Vikings when we can. But we got to take that team a little more seriously now. But this Jacksonville team, they had a tough road to start off the season, right? They had the Dolphins. Then they had the Browns, which maybe you could have definitely argued like you could have won that game, but just wasn't their day, I would say. And then they faced the Buffalo Bills. So I think those games just did not favor this Jacksonville Jaguars team. But they did not look good against the Buffalo Bills whatsoever. Like
it was over at halftime.
Yeah, it was over. It was over in the first quarter. Yeah,
It
similarly
was
to
over
the
before
Dolphins
the
game.
second of the doubleheader came on.
Yeah, like
terrible game.
We'll talk about Buffalo when we get there, but like it was eerily similar to like how the Dolphins Thursday night game went the week before.
Disgusting.
So it was just like I was watching it. I had it on there. I was just watching it just to watch the Bills. Honestly, just to like kind of keep an eye on them. And I was like, I saw the score for the other Monday night game. I'm like, damn, I should switch to that one. That looks a lot more interesting.
Yeah, way better game.
And by the time I finally switched it, it was a little too late. And I was like, dang. But yeah, this Texans team, I think they should win this one. They want to be the cream of the crop in this AFC South, and they need to beat teams like Jacksonville to do that. They got to get these divisional matchup wins. So, give me the Texans. I think it's tough, man. They did not look good against the Vikings though, so it was a bit concerning.
Yeah, Jacksonville more like Hacksonville because they're all hacks, right, guys? Yeah, like I was saying.
More like get Saxonville.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I was saying last week, I might be out on T-Law, Trevor Lawrence. I'm not a big fan of Doug Peterson coaching either. I'm rocking with the Texans. They're the better team. They had a weird loss last week. I think it was just a weird week in general. I don't really know. That's what I'm kind of scratching it all up to because I did not pick very well at all. I'm going to hopefully pick right here and take the Texans.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Texans as well. I'm hearing you said that you don't like Doug Peterson anymore. I agree. He's getting kind of stale, but now people are kind of saying that, Bill Belichick, Jacksonville.
He's dusty.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like this somebody else has got to come in here, somebody young to fix Jacksonville. I feel like their energy is a young team, and the season has definitely not gone the way that they've hoped through 3 weeks, and I'm not sure that they can turn it around. There's no bright spot on their offense at all. Tim Tebow. Yeah, bring him back for tight end.
No, as a coach.
Oh Jesus!
Nah,
yeah, right. Tight ends coach or
nah? You need to keep Tebow on TV.
Loves him.
Nah, you need to keep Tebow on TV, bro.
I'll let you throw us to this next game, Chris.
Well, this next game is the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams.
We got the Rams going to the Chicago Bears, the Windy City. I don't know what the weather's like now, but it's gotta be getting a little bit cold up there. You know, it's gonna be some good football weather.
It's officially fall now.
Have you ever been beaten by a wet spaghetti noodle? Ram.
Anywho, yeah.
You go with the Bears? You go with the boy?
I lost my train of thought because of this wet spaghetti noodle over here. But yeah, we got the Rams.
From Caleb's arm?
We got the Rams going to Chicago to take on the Bears. A familiar face coming back into town, Matthew Stafford. It seems all banged up though. I'm gonna rock with the boys. I'm gonna take the Bears. We got Keenan Allen coming back. Hopefully, we can put some points on the board or at least start kicking like tons of field goals. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna take the Bears.
Dude, Tina's going with the Rams. Tina, if you guys don't know, is Chris's mom.
Christina.
She's in the picks with us, and she's going with the Rams.
Jeez.
You gotta get on a phone call right after we get out of here.
Yikes.
The disrespect. I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Tina knows what's up.
I'm gonna rock with the Bears. Although I was very enthused with what I saw from the Rams last week, they have a pulse. They ended up winning their first game against the San Fran 49ers. Yeah, San Francisco was a bit banged up with McCaffrey and Kittle, and I want to say Debo was out as well. So, their big offensive core was out, but Juwan Jennings popped off, and the Rams still found out a way to come back and win this matchup. But it's going to be tough. I don't know. I want to see Chicago get a win here. I want to see Caleb Williams, build off of that last performance. Even though it wasn't a winning performance, it was a good performance. So I want to see more of that from Caleb and see more development. I think I wouldn't say it's a fluke what happened with the Rams last week, but it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I'm rocking with the Rams here. Chris's mom knows what's going on. She knows how to rock with the Rams too. Bears looked terrible last week. Every time I glanced at them, Caleb was on the ground. I don't know. We could sit here and ridicule Caleb Williams for being, throwing picks and not being great so far all day. But at the end of the day, if the game plan's terrible and your offensive line sucks, nobody's going to be good. We're seeing it in Carolina with Bryce Young, and we've seen it time after time throughout the NFL history. But anyway, I'll take us to this next game. Minnesota, Aaron Jones traveling to Lambeau Field to face off against the Packers. 3-0 coming into Lambeau Field, leading this division, man. Could not have predicted that. I'm a little excited here. Hopefully we're going to have Jordan Love back. If we have Malik Willis, I'll be okay with it. But at the same time, I really want to see Love out there for this huge matchup this early in the season. I'm excited. I know Packer fans are excited. Vikings fans are probably hyped up as well. They might be able to walk out of Lambeau Field 4-0. I'm rocking with the boys here. Defenses looked great. Minnesota, I can't discredit them either. They look like maybe one of the best teams in the NFC so far. So Not only is this a huge match within the NFC North, it's a huge match within the NFC playoff picture this early in general. This will be a deciding factor come, seeding and stuff come December.
Yeah, this is a big game. This is going to be a great NFC North matchup. I'm going to go against you, though. I'm rocking with the Vikings. Defense has looked really, really good, and you see people coming up to the DC after the game and being like, wow, the scheme was crazy. Like, we struggled. Like, the quarterbacks on the other team. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Unless Jordan Love comes back, then maybe I might go ahead and change the pick because the Packers will be at home. Love coming back. Maybe I'll flip, but for right now, I'm going to rock with Minnesota. And run the tapes back. I told you Sam Darnold was going to be good on this team. Told you he wasn't a bum. He is better than I thought he would, admittedly, but I didn't think he was any slouch. Minnesota's not a bad team. I'm taking the Vikings.
Minnesota has been really surprising to me. Like, I didn't think they were going to be awful, but I just thought, with Sam Darnold at the helm, I will say that, I wasn't as optimistic as maybe Chris might have been with that team. So, definitely got to eat my words with that. But, man, if Jordan Love comes back to play in this game, give me the Packers. I want the Packers with Jordan Love to win this game. With Malik Willis, it's a little bit shaky on this one. I might flip to the Vikings on that sense. But I still have a bit more faith in Malik Willis, especially if he keeps on playing like this. He might be a possible trade target for the Miami Dolphins at the quarterback position. I just think so far he's been performing really well. And so you can say that for both of these teams. Green Bay suffered a one-possession loss week 1 in Brazil. And their starting quarterback got injured. And then the backup, Malik Willis, who had barely been in there for less than a week. He was there for less than a month. He came in and he's performing really well.
Shout out to Matt LaFleur, bro.
Yeah.
That's a huge testament to his game plan.
I think he's coach of the year so far.
So far, for sure. How can he not be?
It's either him or the Vikings head coach O'Connell, I think.
Yeah. Other than that, there's no other clear cut, maybe, no. Maybe Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, for sure. Mike Tomlin right now 3-0. We'll get to the Steelers in a sec. I will want to give a little bit of a shout out though to Brian Flores and that defense.
There you go.
Yep. It's a Brian Flores led defense. It's for me, it's not shocking. I wasn't fully expecting that, but they came out and they have a life to them and they have a way about making it tough on these opposing teams, and that's something that I've seen similarly in the defenses led by Brian Flores here in Miami. Yep. But I'm going to keep us going. We have another NFC divisional matchup here. We have the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. This is a good matchup. Yes, the Falcons are 1-2, but they've been entertaining in those losses, to say the least. Game. And then the Saints suffered their first loss last week to the Eagles. Listen, the Saints are going to get a win on the road here, unfortunately, for the Falcons. As much as I do want to pick the Falcons here, I think this is one of those must-win games early on in the season for this Falcons team. The Saints can afford to lose it, but you want to, keep on the ball rolling. They had a little bit of a step back in terms of offensive production last week, but they did face a formidable foe in the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I'm not saying the Falcons' defense isn't prominent, but I think in these type of matchups, either it's very low scoring or it's insanely high scoring. So right now, over-under set at 42. I think I would go over on that one. I think these two offenses can put up points.
I was going to agree with you. I'm going to bet the over as well, but I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons here, man. I like what I saw from them these past couple weeks. Mm-hmm. Week 1, they looked rocky, especially against the Steelers. They didn't score an offensive touchdown, still beat the Falcons. But last week, total PI in the end zone on Kyle Pitts against the Chiefs that should have been called. Game-altering play. Falcons should be at least 2-1 right now. So that sucks. I think they've looked pretty good offensively so far. I think their coaching is kind of what's holding them back. Last year, they're kind of doing this little coaching change and stuff. So it's interesting to see, but I don't know. How do you not go for a field goal whenever you're down 5 and then make it a 2-point game and then get the ball back? There was well over 5.5 minutes left in that game too.
So I was thinking the same exact thing, honestly. You are in field goal range, you're down by 5, and there's a lot of time, and they made it into the red zone twice in a row. You take those points, you end up winning the game by 1 point. But hindsight, 2020 vision, whatever. It's it's the Chiefs. You want to put the
be
pedal
aggressive.
to the metal.
I get it, but at
sure.
the same time, with this type of shit, you gotta start being smart.
No, for sure.
Special teams is what wins football games a lot of the time.
And that's why we like to criticize Dan Campbell. He likes to go for it on fourth down, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it bites him in the butt.
Yeah.
So a lot of these young coaches, they are aggressive, but at the same time,
the play calling was terrible though. Like what they had cooked up was a run to the left. Like screw that, dude.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off too.
Get some RPOs. Like get a little creative in here. Like it was just flat. Like it saw it coming from a mile away.
Dude, the guy who Nick Bolton, who was subbed out, he came back in for literally that play and made the freaking game-winning play.
And then in the post-game press conference, he's like, they got a touchdown on it before, so then I knew how to read it. Like,
well, everyone knew it too. Where it was going.
It was telegraphed. It was like the.
There was some other plays.
Like I was watching, I went back and I watched a podcast and they were doing it during that game, and then they were like, "Watch, this is gonna be the final play right here. Bijan run." And he's like, "Why would you run it outside and not in between the tackles?"
I was literally saying,
why put them all the way out there where all of the best they're way better than you on the outside. They're way faster. You got to
go play action there, or at least have an RPO cooked up.
Look,
you need the straight run to the left.
One of the best RPO QBs in the league too.
Am I not mistaken, or were they in shotgun handing that off? Because I can't stand fourth down handing it off from shotgun.
Well, not even that. You need a yard. And you're making your guy run 7 yards to gain 1 yard sideways instead of just running 3 yards to gain 1 yard going just straight
literally.
up. Come
on. That's also
fastest way to a destination is a straight line.
Yep.
Well, Kirk Cousins can't do it anymore. They're probably worried about the Achilles, so you can't.
Correct, but you have one of the most premier running backs up and coming in the league.
I'm gonna take Atlanta, and then I'm gonna get us out of this game. I'm gonna take the home team here. I think it is kind of a toss up.
They also are wearing their throwback sergeants.
On fire, they
Isn't it all black or something?
No, it's a black top with a red helmet. It's a sick combo, honestly.
So I'm gonna go with the home team because I have been taking a lot of road teams, and last week I think it came back to bite me in the butt. So I'm going to take Atlanta and move us to the next game. Got the Philadelphia Eagles going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've been in the playoffs quite a bit lately.
They met last year too.
Last year, when Brady, and I think the year Tampa Bay won, they killed the Eagles. We worked that game.
Yeah, that was a good game.
That game was terrible to work. It was cold. It was a blowout. It was raining. It was like how it probably is right now. Like a hurricane, basically, outside. Tampa looked awful. I think it might be a good get-back game for them. I'm going to take the Bucs at home. Like I said, I took a lot of road teams last week. I'm not really trying to do it this week. Not a big believer in the Eagles so far this year. And Sirianni, I think, is definitely on the hot seat. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm taking the Bucs. Hopefully Baker can throw, another 4-tutty game because I got him in fantasy.
A lot of people going with Philly, it looks like.
Yeah, literally everyone in our league is going with the Eagles.
Well, not me. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here.
Boy.
I like what I've seen from Baker and Chris Godwin. That duo has been pretty deadly. Hasn't thrown to Mike Evans a lot since week 1, but a little bit of a ghost. Last week was a WTF. I did not expect them to lose to the Denver Broncos, especially in that fashion at all.
Blowout.
It was bad. Eagles, that game was boring as hell for a long time, and then it got good with 6 minutes left. Saquon Barkley, 2 touchdown day, saves the day again. All you got to do, really, to stop Philly is stop Saquon now, because I don't know if I'm really trusting the ball with Jalen Hurts through the air, especially now that Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. I was about to call him Jalen Brown for a second.
Does everybody know that they're
that's
out?
NBA.
All he has now left is who? Goddard?
Yeah, I don't know. Who's the
Who's the tight end now?
Goddard, yeah.
Yeah, it's Goddard.
He's Goddard.
They have the one white guy, number 19 or something. I forget his name.
They have a young guy receiver there. So
they have a couple of them.
When I was making my pick, I totally forgot about that. So I was originally gonna go with the Eagles, but now you guys mentioned these injuries. No, for these injuries, how are you gonna?
It's bad.
Who are you gonna pass it to?
It's only Wednesday as we're recording this, but they have not practiced.
Yeah. So I'm gonna flip to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was gonna rock with the Eagles. I do agree. Nick Sirianni is kind of in this position that if he messes up, because you could be 3-0 right now if you didn't mess up by doing that stupid play against the Falcons.
Yeah.
And then we would be singing a completely different tune about the Falcons as well. But
same. Yeah.
The injuries are starting to pile up. especially to their specialty offensive players in Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. So let's hope Saquon Barkley can stay healthy.
You off some of these wide receivers that the Eagles might be having out there?
Please, yes.
Jahan Dotson, who they acquired via trade recently, might go off if you're gonna pick him up or have him in fantasy. Paris Campbell's out there.
Don't they have Valdez-Scantling?
No, that's in. I forget where he ended up, but he's not with the Eagles. They got Johnny Wilson from FSU, the rookie.
He's huge.
Yeah, and Britton Covey went to IR, so that's who I was thinking of earlier.
Doesn't he have, like, the biggest wingspan in the NFL history?
Dude, he's he takes up, like, the whole thing. Well, bigger than yours, Chris.
Looks like that's about it, though,
with yours. I thought we were all doing it.
They have 3 receivers already on IR and 2 questionable, meaning A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Not looking good.
Looks like they have 3 receivers that they're rolling out there with.
But the Bucs defense has kind of sucked so far.
Yeah,
they haven't been living up to par.
That's been deterring, but it can't be a one-man show. It can't be a 3-man show between Barkley, Saquon, and Jalen Hurts, and
Saquon's like the whole squad right now. I mean, Goddard had that huge play to get him into touchdown, but
it can't be the running back.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No
All right. I'm gonna bring it in back here. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Indianapolis Colts. We're still in the 1 o'clock window. We're gonna get to the 4 o'clock games shortly after this. But Pittsburgh 3-0. The various old quarterback Justin Fields is not balling out. I was about to say balling out. He's not balling out, but he's
seems balling, man.
He's doing exactly what the Steelers need him to do on the offensive side of the ball. The defense is killing them.
Football games.
The defense is balling out, dude. Last week they played injured Justin Herbert. I think things would have been a little bit different should Justin Herbert not have been injured, but still, the Chargers had a lapse in judgment, and the Steelers had a lapse in judgment, and then your boy Quentin Johnson got a touchdown. But yeah, this Colts team,
gotta love it.
A little shaky right now, 1-2. They have faced some decent teams, but this Pittsburgh team is legit. The defense is gonna make Anthony Richardson's day hell. For you guys starting Jonathan Taylor in fantasy, it's gonna be a tough day. I'm not saying to bench him, but he's put him at a flex option. I don't think it's gonna be a good day.
Creating on that offense. I'm telling
you,
bro.
That
offense
it's gonna be tough.
Sucks,
the team's not good.
Richardson looks bad, bro. I'm gonna just tell you right now. Richardson, he looks bad. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna struggle.
You don't really know until you watch it like the full game.
Yeah, really. I just watched the full game. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm taking the Steelers. They're by far and away the better team, especially because this Colts defense is like super banged up. So if you have like Najee and Jalen Warren, maybe start Jalen Warren this week. He might get some work. I think
Najee's hurt too.
If Najee is banged up, especially start him because this Colts defense does kind of suck. Even though the Bears couldn't take advantage of it, it is true.
Fantasy wise, I want to say start George Pickens. That guy's legit.
Yeah, no, the Colts have just been not good this year. Like Anthony Richardson before the season, I'm like, he's gonna be great. I love watching him play.
Who did they beat week 1?
They didn't beat anybody week 1. Colts, they lost to the Texans. The only win they've had is against the Bears.
Yeah, against the Bears.
Oh, shit. I forgot they beat us. I was like, who did they beat? I was like,
tough game. I mean,
I was mentally prepared to win that.
The way that the Colts played, dude, like they should have lost. Come on. It's awful. No, like I was like Anthony Richardson, probably one of the most exciting players to watch. I'm very excited to watch this Colts team until I realized I've never sat down and watched the full Colts game. Yeah, no. I watched the red zone here and there. Oh, look at this Anthony Richardson play. Look at this throw.
What do you mean? Did you not watch the Green Bay game the week before?
No. Until I watched that, I realized how bad this kid is. I'm like, oh, wow, he really just chucked it up there like that into quadruple coverage. Okay, wow, okay. Yeah, not great. I'm going to go with the Steelers here. Mike Tomlin has been coaching his ass off, and they've been playing exceptional football. But let's get to the 4 o'clock window. We got the New England Patriots traveling to San Francisco, who has been banged up. Just had a pretty nasty loss to the Rams, which kind of a game that they should have won, where Jawan Jennings had 3 touchdowns, like Austin said earlier. I think I'm going to go with the 49ers here regardless. Brandon Ayuk's got to take off at some point. I think this might be the game that he does. I know that Christian Gonzalez is a great corner so far, and that defense has looked pretty good against a lot of good wide receivers in this league. And it looks like that, aside from Jennings, Ayuk might be the only one left out there. and Debo and Kittle are all hurt and stuff like that. So not looking very confident with this San Francisco offense. So I'm going to go with the 49ers regardless, though.
Yeah, the 49ers have been looking like a Chris Brown ex-girlfriend in the early 2000s. They're a little banged up right now.
Jesus Christ.
So, I would still rock with the Niners at home. The Patriots suck, dude. They're a bad team. The Niners should be getting some guys back. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take San Fran.
Oh, dude. That was heavy, bro. Not the time with all this P. Diddy stuff coming out, too. Dude.
The Diddler?
Okay. No. All right, enough. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
I can sign no NDA. I can talk.
Okay. I'm going to go with the San Fran 49ers. Yeah, the only thing that's really interesting me about this Patriots team is when are they going to play Drake May? You definitely don't do it this game. You definitely don't do it this game. You don't want to play, even though they're a little banged up, you don't want to play this 49ers team. If the Jets team was tearing you apart, the 49ers team is going to rip you to shreds. And, the injuries do concern me with the 49ers, but it'll be interesting to see when Ricky Pearsall ends up suiting up for the 49ers. He's going to be something to follow in terms of just players to watch on that team, especially in the wide receiver position. I'm going to keep us pushing. We have the Washington Commanders at the Arizona Cardinals. I find this matchup decently interesting.
Yeah,
this is probably the best game in the 4 o'clock window. You have the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels, against another former Heisman winner in Kyler Murray. Last week, he faced a former Heisman winner in Joe Burrow and went toe-to-toe and had one of his best performances so far of his rookie campaign. I know we're 3 weeks so far into it.
The best.
But I mean, that was a really interesting watch from Jaden Daniels. I think this Arizona team, though, gets to win here. I think Kyler Murray is going to be trying to put on a show. And I think when he faces good competition like this, he wants to play his best. And I think that's when you get the best out of Kyler Murray. And on top of that, Call of Duty is going to be coming out soon. So I got to take the Cardinals when I can because I don't know if they're going to perform well. All jokes aside, this is going to be a really interesting matchup. So if you have any games that you want to watch in the 4 o'clock window and you want to circle them, I would circle this one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also going to take the Cardinals, and I do think this is going to be a fun matchup as well. These two quarterbacks are going to sling this ball around, and it's going to be fun. So it's going to be fun to watch. Don't be fooled, though, by what you saw by the Commanders last week. They also had to kick 7 field goals to win their other game.
Yeah.
But this is probably number 1 and number 2 in offensive rookie of the years going against each other. Marvin Harrison versus Jaden Daniels. So that would be kind of cool to see. Like maybe if one outshines the other, maybe gets a leg up here. But I'm going to take the home team because, like I said, I'm trying to learn from my past week's mistakes, and I'm going to take the Cardinals.
Sucks because one player has control of how good their performance is going to be, and one of them has to rely on
it's so dependent.
The ball getting thrown to them.
True.
But I totally am excited for this game. It's going to be sick. Especially Kyler Murray's been playing great football again. Cardinals in general had a hiccup last week against a good Lions team. I think I'm going to rock with the Commanders here, man. I like what I saw last week, and I'm going to be a little bit different and pick against everyone else.
It's a little split decision overall, but against us,
There's definitely a couple people going with the Commanders, but I feel like the overall money is with the Cardinals this week. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders get a little something going, turn a bit of heads, and Jaden Daniels becomes the guy moving forward.
So far, looking like the best quarterback coming out of the draft.
Yeah,
it's no shade towards Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, and obviously Caleb
Bo
Williams.
had a great week last week,
too. Bo had a good week, but so far, Jaden Daniels has been the most consistent player and the most
He looked the
efficient.
most perfect, yeah.
Yeah. But I want to ask you guys about the under-over on this one. Under-over set at 50 and a half points. Under
50 and a half?
over?
Holy shit.
So each team roughly scoring 25 points.
It's tough because, like I said, the Commanders have struggled to score. So
that's such a high.
They had such a big offensive output that it definitely inflated the number.
But I don't know if they're playing well, it's gonna be flying all over.
Yeah, so that's
it might be
if
high
both
scoring.
defenses haven't looked great either, but both offenses have looked very explosive.
Yeah.
Tough.
So I think in that sense, I would probably go with the over if you think in that mindset.
Yeah, probably better off going with the
I
over
don't know
there.
if I touched it, honestly.
Yeah, I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't touch it
Yeah.
either.
Yeah,
There's
it's a
probably
little risky.
16 other games I could bet on in this window. That's just, no.
Would you bet on this one?
Yeah,
This
what
next
do we
Yeah,
got next, Joe?
we got the Cleveland Browns traveling to Las Vegas. I know there's going to be a lot of money thrown around over there.
Hell yeah.
Listen, both of these teams
In
look
Deshaun
like
Watson's
shit
room.
so far this season. Both awful. Browns have looked like their name, and the Raiders have looked like their logo. Kind of terrible on all sides. Deshaun Watson in the no, skull and bones, fucking dead as hell, done. Fucking cast it aside. Ooh, a pirate. Anyway, I think I'm gonna just. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna rock with the Browns. I don't know. I just feel like they got better pieces, and I guess I rock with their quarterback a little bit more than Minshew or O'Connell, and they still might mix it up there. They just lost to Carolina. Don't feel confident about them. On the other side, Cleveland did just lose to the Giants, who are kind of the same level of bad. I guess give me the Browns here. What do you guys think?
I'm going to take the
go ahead.
Raiders. Oh, my bad.
No, you go.
I was going to take the Raiders. Yeah, Antonio Pierce came out and said he's going to make some changes, and he seemed a little pissed off because people were making, business decisions. I don't know who he's exactly talking about, but there's been some people getting hate on Twitter thinking that maybe he was talking about them taking some plays off. So I think he's gonna maybe make some changes, maybe fire the team up. I'm gonna take the Vegas Raiders here, and like I've mentioned on the pod before, I'm not taking Cleveland until they change that quarterback. I don't think.
Yeah, for me, I want to go with the Raiders, and it's one of those things that all right, Antonio Pierce is gonna fire these guys up and stuff, and I feel like he's definitely one of those type of coaches. You're either a motivator, you know how to recruit talent, or you just know how to develop guys. And I feel like Antonio Pierce is definitely one of those motivator guys. But this is a toss up for me. I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. Any of you guys who are uniform heads, the Browns are wearing their all white uniforms, including the helmets. So that's why you guys see it there on the logos. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting matchup, regardless. The fact that it's just, I don't think it's gonna be great football. That's all I really gotta say.
Yeah.
The gambling lines have pretty much been a toss up. It's been a pick 'em for pretty much the whole time. So you can't go really wrong with whoever you pick there. I'm gonna keep us moving here. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Los Angeles Chargers. This matchup would have been a little bit more interesting had Derwin James not got suspended. This is just another scenario where Twitter was set afire. It's who are they playing this week? Oh, the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been somewhat seemed like they've been getting bailed out each and every game this year. Week 1, the toe on the line for Isaiah Likely. What happened week 2?
That was unlikely.
The PI against the Bengals. Week 3, the PI against Kyle Pitts. Week 4, no Derwin James. I don't necessarily think in that mindset. I'm just regurgitating what I've been seeing online. But it's quite a coincidence. I do think this Kansas City team wins. Justin Herbert seems like he's pretty banged up. I think Joey has a little more on that. What do you have?
Who, Herbert?
Yeah, what's up with Herbo?
Yeah.
Dude, Herbert, I guess he went back. They played against the Steelers. And
Bad decision.
Yeah, it's stupid, man. They shouldn't do that. Look at what
man.
we're doing, man. Take some notes here, Harbaugh. Playing 1950s football out there. But now I guess they're considering him, a little bit more day-to-day, and they might want to rest him until their bye. I'm not sure when their bye is. I think week 6, 2 weeks away. I'm not really sure on that either, but I'm assuming it's soon if they're going to hold him out until the bye.
What do you know?
I don't know, man. What do I know? I know that the freaking Justin Herbert shouldn't have played last week because they lost anyway. But listen, I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs anyway. I'm still sick of them. Every win has felt like the end of Cars when Chick Hicks comes and he wins the Piston Cup. Hey, bring on the Piston Cup! Why is nobody else celebrating but me? Bring on the confetti! Bring on the girls! Come on! Yeah, no, I'm not here for it anymore. You're terrible. And the worst part is Andy Reid is caught in the middle of this. And if you're a Taylor Swift fan, I guess that's the worst part for you guys. But I think that's kind of the problem. It's just all awful. And now that the refs are bailing them out every 5 seconds, I can't help but think of them as like the Patriots from like 5 years, five to Jesus.
Yeah, when
probably
Brady
more
was
than
there.
5 years
Yeah.
ago now. Well, time just flies by so goddamn quick nowadays. Jesus Lord. Probably about 8 years ago. But yeah, I'm rocking with the Chiefs here. Is this a CBS game?
I
Because
think
this
it
seems
is.
like one that Tony Romo and all them are just going to be stroking it too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be some glazing from Tony Romo.
God,
probably.
yeah. Tony. I
I'll
don't know,
make it-
Jim.
Make it easy. I'm gonna take the Chiefs unless especially if Herbert's out. But I'm gonna
Herbert
take
and
the Chiefs.
Derwin James are going to
Yeah.
probably
Herbert's
be out.
out, like officially out.
He's probably going to be
He's
out.
probably gonna be
Yeah.
out. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs, and I'm gonna keep us moving to this other game because this other one should be pretty interesting. We got the 3-0 Buffalo Bills going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens with LaMarcus Jackson over there. But yeah, I think a lot of people are probably out on Baltimore. I don't know. Buffalo, I'm not fully sold on them. I'm going to take the home team here. I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm not out on Baltimore just yet. Maybe after this week, if they really let me down. Hopefully they don't. Shout out Steve. He's a big Ravens guy. But I'm going to go ahead and take the home team. I'm making my theme this week. I'm going to take all the home teams, or at least a good,
A good
at least
majority
a good
of them.
majority of them for the most part.
I'm going to agree with you on this matchup,
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah, I'm going to rock with the Ravens here. I feel like they need this win a lot more than the Buffalo Bills. Not to say that they're going to, I guess, try any less, but I feel like the Baltimore Ravens are going to – it's a home game. They're having a formidable opponent at home. They're going to be fired up. They need this win. It's Sunday Night Football. I'm rocking with Lamar here, even though, like, the Bills have just really giving you no reason to bet against them in any sort of matter. They have been moving the ball so well. James Cook, I apologize. Like, the whole entire offseason, I'm like, I'm not drafting James fucking Cook.
Oh, big
no,
mistake.
like,
Big
not
mistake,
happening.
buddy.
Yeah, I've said it out loud to
Big
multiple people. So
mistake,
when he
buddy.
popped off, I had to get a text message every time. That's my bad. I'm sorry. I'd be open to trading for James Cook now. It's crazy how the tables turn. But for this game, the turntables have turned around, don't they? But yeah, I'm rocking with the Ravens here.
Turn around.
Yeah,
Turn around.
as much as it's been entertaining to see what Buffalo's been able to do, scoring at their own will, like with ease. I mean, in the last 2 games alone, they've scored like 30 points pretty much in the first quarter. You can pretty much say in the first half. So they've been one of the more prominent teams in this league, and a lot of people didn't expect that with their new receiving core, pretty much because Khalil Shakir is like the only one that has been returning.
Fun name to say though.
Yeah, it's a little tricky
Khalil
one too, a
Shakir.
little tongue
Khalil
twister.
Shakir.
But this
What's
John
more fun to
Lucas
say?
said. John Lucas said. Khalil Shakir.
Come on, you
Come
can
on.
say it.
Khalil Shakir.
Hey,
There we go.
what's more fun to say, Rashid Shaheed or Khalil Shakir?
Rashid Shaheed.
yeah, Reed Shaheed, bro.
Or
That one just rolls.
Yeah.
what about Wiz Khalifa?
Nah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Really?
Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid.
Yeah, Raheem Shaheed is the guy.
Rashid.
What about little Jordan Humphrey?
Yeah, cool name, shit player.
Yeah.
That's like the name with the hype, the play, terrible. Levels.
There's levels to this,
Eh,
man.
eh.
All right, so if I could get back to my pick, I love Raheem Shaheed. Saying his name is pretty funny. Same with
There
Khalil
you go.
Shakir.
Like, take it away, Miami.
well, hold on. I haven't even made my Buffalo pick.
Oh my God,
Yeah, dude.
really?
Yeah, you guys are here throwing
Hold your
names. and
horses.
shit.
Dude, I'm over here getting excited.
I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens as well. I think they have to make more of a statement here. I'm picking the Ravens, Gianluca. He's
Damn it, Gianluca.
He's on it. He's on
Yo,
it.
honestly,
You're making your Buffalo pick.
Well,
Hey,
hey.
honestly though, John Luca, fun name to say. Also, fun name.
Great name.
All right.
Great name.
The whole thing is crazy. But
Let's get the analysis from Austin
Please,
here.
for the love of God. Shit. Fuck, dude. This Baltimore Ravens team made a statement win Jesus Christ, you guys got me fucked up. Put Baltimore on the graphic. There we go. All right. I got the Baltimore Ravens winning this matchup because this
The
needs to
Ravens?
be another statement freaking win for the Ravens. They had a big statement win against the Dallas Cowboys last week. They're coming home Sunday Night Football against a prominent AFC team, and you cannot drop this one already being 1-2. So being the Baltimore Ravens, you have Super Bowl aspirations, you have the reigning MVP. You need to come out.
Windows closing.
Yeah,
for sure.
and like you just need to come out and perform because otherwise, it's no hot seat for Harbaugh there. I think they need to have a horrible season for that to happen. But I just think it's not a good look for Baltimore. You already have Pittsburgh being 3-0. You can't get too far behind in that division.
Derrick Henry with this team in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see winter football with Derrick Henry running
Lamar,
the rock.
win a good actually get a good playoff win, man.
Yeah.
Facts. No, for sure, 100%.
It's frustrating.
All right, I'm gonna bring us back to Monday Night Football, the first of two.
Oh.
We have a rematch from last year. We have the Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins. Man, the Dolphins let me down last week pretty bad. And more specifically, the offense. The defense, I feel balled out given the circumstances. The offense really wasn't doing anything for them. The defense forced 2 turnovers, and the Dolphins were only able to get 3 points out of that. Come on, man. That's a horrible performance. Offensively, Skylar Thompson did hurt his ribs in the last matchup against the Seahawks. But, let's see what happens, whether it's Boyle, whatever the hell his name is, and or
Boyle.
Snoop Huntley. I hope it ends up being Huntley.
Just because
I think he just brings a dynamic that is much needed because this offensive line hasn't seemed to be making the best protection. But I'm not saying they're horrible either. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins, but this Tennessee Titans team, I'm praying Will Levis has another stupid play that he's been doing in the first 3 weeks of the season. He didn't play too bad against the Packers, so Joey, talk to us a little bit about that.
I mean, he didn't play too bad. All things considered, he did get sacked 8 times, so his offensive line wasn't great. If your defense can get home enough and, kind of get them uncomfortable a lot in that game, I think you guys can pull out this win. But honestly, I think I'm going to lock in the Titans getting a W here. Unless I see the Miami Dolphins confirm that Snoop Huntley is going to be the starting quarterback, I'm benching Tyreek Hill. That was my first-round pick, sadly. It's just not great. I didn't like what I saw. And if you have Tim Boyle, who is a former Packers quarterback, I've seen enough from him to know that he's not going to even be worth my while starting any Dolphins wide receiver. Any Dolphins offensive skill player that's not Devon Achane maybe isn't even worth a start.
Yeah, Achane's getting a lot of fantasy points.
Yeah. Tennessee's decent enough to capitalize on Miami not being good enough offensively and pull out this W. So for that reason, I'm rocking with the Titans.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of in the same boat. I mean, this Monday night game kind of stinks.
Thank God it's a doubleheader.
Yeah, thank God there's another game on, honestly. But we said that last week, and that game kind of turned into being the best game, so you never know. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Titans unless Huntley does play. Huntley
He's good.
Adds a lot to this team, and I think can actually get the ball to some of the playmakers the Dolphins need to get the ball to in order to win. But yeah, we went to this game last year, and the Titans won. I think they end up doing it again this year.
It's a crucial game too down the stretch.
That was another game that I had taken Chris to with me.
Yeah.
And he was wearing the Tannehill jersey. He wore the Tannehill jersey the last night game. Maybe it's a Tannehill jersey. We'll see. If things start going,
Diop had a crazy catch, a 60-yard bomb, late to
he had a crazy touchdown last week too.
To get the Titans to win that game. It was nuts.
As a fan, that was a traumatic game to go to, bro. Because we had the lead.
They wear the throwbacks too.
No, they're wearing the aqua tops. They're wearing the aqua tops again this week.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they want history to repeat itself. Another Monday night game with a doubleheader. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's eerie reminiscent.
Yeah, we were playing
last
on that Monday night too against the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Tough one.
Joey, take us to this last and final game.
We got the Seattle Seahawks, who are quietly 3-0 right now, going into Detroit to face off against the Lions. Hostile environment. I mean, Seattle should be used to playing in a hostile environment. Their stadium is pretty loud all the time too. But I think Detroit's going to be fired up here. I think they are the better team overall. If this was a playoff game, I think I'd pick the Detroit Lions too. This could end up being a playoff game. I think Seattle gets their first loss here, even though they have been pretty damn good so far this season.
Yeah, I think, what's his name, Mike McDonald is a good candidate for Coach of the Year as well. He's got this team surprisingly
quietly
3-0. Quietly 3-0. And then on the other hand, Detroit is 2-1, could be 3-0 if it's not for their head coach, who notably has said he lost them the game. He said, "Well, you said the head coach lost them the game, not them." He never took accountability. I'm gonna take Detroit at home. I think it's gonna be actually a pretty good game. What's it over 47?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I would try to attack that over. I feel like it's not that high of a number. It's Monday night though, so you never know. But I'm gonna take Detroit at home.
This is gonna be a good game.
I think it's gonna be a really, really fun game to watch.
I will say that I like bringing up the uniforms. I think like NFL has probably one of the
big fashion guy.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of changes this offseason in general too with the whole uniform.
I like the uniforms. I like talking about the uniforms. I think they're wearing their black unis this week.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not losing.
Yeah, so it's gonna be sick. The owner did say that we're not bringing back the black unis until we make it to the playoffs. So I'm pretty sure the players who came back from last year have a little bit of sense of pride that hey, like these are back here for us
we
right now.
These.
Yeah. So a lot of like sports growing up, like especially in my school, like they didn't wear black jerseys, like the black jerseys for my school was like the hardest one growing up, and like they never wore them unless like the team was actually good. So like that's like one of those type of vibes that I'm getting from the Lions right now. So I'm gonna go with the Lions, but I think it's gonna be a good matchup. A sneaky good matchup to see is
we got the Black Cats on there too.
Yeah,
I like it.
yes,
That's
sir.
sexy.
We got DK Metcalf and Geno Smith just have a crazy connection. They've connected for the last 2 weeks with bombs. So interesting to see if that happens against this Detroit secondary. I don't think necessarily that he's going to go off for big plays, but DK Metcalf is playing really, really well. He got a big-time moss on Kendall Fuller last week. The Seattle team is good, but I think this Detroit team is better. So that's the key difference for me.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well,
definitely need a better week of game picks.
Yeah.
Because I had a rough week. We need some of the boys, some of us to get back
6-10 and
up.
5-11 is god awful.
We got
I'm
be
still
better
baffled.
than that, or else we're gonna end up having to give a gift to whoever this winner is. One of us needs to win this league. At least we'll see.
Oh man,
we need a better week.
Jeremiah creeping up on Steve-O though. Pete's right behind him too, man.
No,
it's gonna be
the standings are interesting. It sucks kind of not being within like the top 3 of the picks right now, but I think things will level out a little bit as the weeks go on. Yeah.
It's only week 4.
I mean, each loss is more drastic.
I had to climb back into the top 5 last year too. I'll do it again this year too. Damn it.
Joey climbed a lot last year.
Dude, I did. Well, most of it was in due part of the Packers being good again. That helped me a lot.
Shout out Packs. But yeah, fun football this week.
Week 4.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week. Peace.